Hi, welcome to the second annotated game I want to cover. This game is between Liubarski and Soultanbeieff. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Played in 1928. The game starts off by e4, e5, so it's a king's pawn opening, knight f3, knight c6, and then bishop c4, which is an Italian game, and then black responds bishop to c5. So we have the gioco piano variation of the Italian game. If you want to know more specifics, I'd go to those videos. But basically, white is aiming here at the f7 pawn. Plans for rapid development and a kingside attack. Hopefully catch the king in the center. Black is fighting move for move in the center and is playing for a counterattack. So that's the basic plan. And now white continues c3 because it wants to play d4, one of the goals in the Italian game. And then black is going to play excuse me, bishop to b6. Basically, if black played some other move, or could play a move that doesn't really affect the position, that if white was to play d4 the next move, it'd force the capture. So maybe I should back up a move. If black plays some other move, and then I don't know what move would be. Maybe it was something like h6 or something. It'd force black to capture the pawn, and that would lose some central control. So basically, what black wants to do, once it keeps its bishop on that diagonal, on this diagonal here, and keep a pawn in the center. So it's going to sort of preemptively move its bishop back to b6. And then white will play d4. Basically, this move frees this bishop and attacks this pawn. Now this pawn is attacked twice. So it's for freeing the bishop, central control. And then black will play queen to c7, developing the queen and lending some more support to the e5 pawn. And then there's also a tactic now involved, because black is actually threatening to win a pawn, just like in the first game I covered. If white makes on the sixth move now some some move that doesn't affect the position, like bishop to b3, then black can play e takes d4, then white would recapture c takes d4, and then the queen comes and takes the e4 pawn with check. Now, and this basically, black wins a pawn, is threatening to win the second pawn here in d4, but white has the move of bishop to e3, blocking the check and defending. So, well, let's back up. So what should white play in this position? Well, it's white is going to castle. And now what move should black make? I'm sorry. Well, the wrong move would be to take the pawn. Now, just the move earlier, taking this pawn here, was a threat to white. But just the move later, castling, now all the tactics have changed. Because if black now takes this pawn, black recaptures, and if the queen decides to capture, which would be a mistake, white has this move, rook to e1, which now the black king and queen are on the same line, and white would end up winning the queen. So just one move later, the tactics changed. So you have to pay attention to that during the game. So white castles, and what move does black make? Well, black develops the knight to c6, attacking this pawn, which has no defender. So what move does white make? Well, white actually doesn't make the best move here. You know, sometimes in these annotated games, you can almost annotate by result, meaning obviously white was going to lose this game, and that means white must have made a huge mistake. But so these are moves that probably people would make, and trying to cover why are they wrong and what moves are right. So that way we can apply these to our own games. Well, white here plays d5. Very tempting because it's attacking the knight. But this doesn't work, or this is not good for a couple reasons for white. One, just the move before, the bishop had this diagonal here where it was attacking this pawn. And also, this diagonal here was blocked for black. When white played the move d4, it blocked that diagonal. Now with white moving the pawn forward, now this diagonal is open for black, or reopens it, and then now this diagonal for white is closed. So this move doesn't help white at all. While it attacks the knight, that's about the only thing it does do. So what move should black make? Well, the correct move is actually to play the knight back. But it would be tempting to play the knight to a5. It looks safe, but here's the problem. You got to ask yourself, when the knight moves forward, you always want to leave yourself a retreat square for the knight, because if you look at it, there's nowhere for the knight to retreat to. It can't retreat here, it can't retreat here, it can't go here. It is attacking the bishop, but we'll soon see that this move loses the knight for, if you were to make this move, it would lose the knight for black, because all that white has to do now is play bishop to d3, and now we have a problem, or black has a problem, because white's going to play b4 the next move, and the knight has nowhere to go. It's trapped, so white's going to end up winning the knight. So for example, two possible variations I can show you from here. Interesting one, which probably would not see, is c5, trying to prevent b4, and if white just captures en passant the here, black just recaptures with a knight, no problem. But white can just play b4 anyways, take, and now there's real no good move for black. Maybe I'd recommend coming back. Therefore, in the recapture, you would have a somewhat decent pawn structure. If you back up to this position, will be right before black played this move. Black could just say, hey, you know what, you're going to get the knight, but I'm going to make forward progress in my position. And black could just castle. Then white plays b4. Then black plays d6, supporting the center. And then white would probably play a3, preparing, white can capture the knight at any time, but it's going to plan to play its knight to here, attacking the bishop. So those are just some lines. So let's back up to d5. It looks like I'm out of time for this lecture, so I'm going to continue in the next lecture covering this game.